What up guys, this is Kelvin and welcome back to my channel where we discuss financial wellness, mindset therapy, and real estate. In today's video, we're going to be discussing 5 easy approval vendors that report to Experian. If you've been looking for ways to help build business credit, then this is the video for you, so stay tuned. First and foremost, I would love to thank each and every single one of my new subscribers and also my OGs. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thanks for the support. I honestly just enjoy helping other small business owners like myself get in a position to and gain access to small business funding, because as we know, it's the smartest way to go about scaling your business, getting capital, and building generational wealth. But I have actually noticed that there is a large portion of my viewership coming from people who just aren't simply subscribed. So all I ask is that you show your boy some love, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like if you like any of this content, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. So this video is technically going to be a sequel to the previous video that I posted covering 5 easy approval business credit vendors that report to Equifax. Well, similar to Equifax, Experian is equally difficult, or can be equally difficult, to have and build trade lines that do report, effectively giving you a great business credit score. And as you continue to progress through your business credit journey, you'll find that a majority of your tier 1 and tier 2 vendors do report to Dun & Bradstreet. So the next 5 easy approval vendors that I'm going to discuss actually report to Experian. So go ahead and get out your pen and pad and make sure that you take heed to the information I'm about to give you. And for those who may not know, your Experian business credit scores are going to range from 1 to about 100, with 80 being the golden standard because that's considered good credit. The very first easy approval business credit vendor that does report to Experian is actually called Northern Tool. Northern Tool is a net 30 account that sells pretty much hardware, tools, and equipment. This vendor will be similar to a Lowe's home improvement store, but online. The requirements to get approved for a Northern Tool net 30 account are pretty straightforward. Number 1, you want to make sure that you have the 8 keys to having a legitimate business that I mentioned in my video up there. If you haven't already checked that out, make sure you do, because it does cover everything that you'll want to do and know to make sure that your business is fully established. Now, being fully established, credible, or legitimate does include having a business bank account, having the EIN number, being in good standing with your state, or having the necessary business licenses, etc., etc. And then also making sure that your address matches across the board everywhere that you have your business information listed. Now, the next qualification is just making sure that your business has established a Dun & Bradstreet paydex score. Now, your paydex score is just what your Dun & Bradstreet credit score is called. And all it really takes to establish a Dun & Bradstreet paydex score is to have at least 2 or 3 or more vendors report to it. And then this could take several months. So make sure you grab your first couple of net 30 accounts that report to Dun & Bradstreet and make sure you use those vendors until they report, so that you can establish your Dun & Bradstreet business credit score. Now, you also will be required to have a good Experian credit score. So if your Experian credit score is not up to par, meaning an 80 or better, if you're in the 70, 75 range, you may have a shot, but anything below 70 is not going to be considered eligible for approval with Northern Tool. But of course, a little later in this video, I will be covering a couple other vendors that will not require you to already have established business credit with Experian to help improve this score if it isn't already an 80 or better. Additionally, you do want to have multiple trade references, and this goes back into having multiple business credit vendors reporting to your business credit profile. So each one of these, whether it be net 30s or gas cards or other vendors, will be considered a bank reference. And this just simply means that Northern Tool wants to be able to take a look at your payment history with other vendors to see how often or how soon you pay your invoice. And last but not least, you should be in business for 3 years, which is what they prefer. But again, if you haven't been in business for the 3 years, if you do have established business credit, you should be good to go. To apply for Northern Tool, you can actually go right online to their website to fill out their application, and then as well go ahead and take a look down below in the description where I will list pretty much all of the rest of the links to the credit vendors that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. The second easy approval business credit vendor that reports to Experian is going to be Murphy USA. Now, Murphy USA is actually a net 15, which does mean once you make a purchase, you will be expected to pay within 15 days. So obviously with these net 15s and these smaller than net 30 accounts, you will want to pay almost immediately just to improve the chances of your scores improving and not going down. Murphy USA is a gas station mostly found at Walmart. And I know Walmart is pretty much nationwide, so I'm sure you've probably seen a Walmart that has a gas station attached to it. That is most likely Murphy USA. But Murphy's does have other locations all across the country. Of course, not linked to Walmart, but when I think of Murphy's, I think of Walmart, and they typically have great prices. WEX brand gas cards are highly recommended by me. Now, they do have a rule to where you should not apply for more than 3 WEX brand gas cards within a 60-day radius, because they can, block you for fraud. So, slow your roll. Make sure you only apply for, 1 to 3 of these within that span to avoid having any issues. But the beautiful thing about WEX brand gas cards are they usually report to both Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. So this will be a great card to get that I feel like has a wide variety of locations. Now, the requirements for getting the Murphy USA gas card would include making sure that your business's phone number is listed in the 411 registry. Additionally, when you apply, they will require you to input your social security number, but not to worry, it is no PG. This is only to verify your identity. Now, they do prefer that your business is at least 1 year old, but if it is a newer business, you may unfortunately have to pay a $500 deposit, or you can just simply PG, which is really not a bad thing unless you have bad credit, of course. To get approved for the Murphy USA gas card, you can simply apply over the phone. So simply call the number that you see up there and make sure that you can apply and get approved. The third easy approval business vendor that does report to Experian is going to be the HomeDepot Pro institutional, formerly known as SupplyWorks account. So this is a net 30 business vendor. Now, I've mentioned the HomeDepot Pro institutional card in one of my other videos, but I wanted to mention it again here because it only reports to Experian. So, this is something that you find is unique. But of course, Home Depot is nationwide. It's self-explanatory. You know what you can pick up at Home Depot. You can get anything from flowers to a new door for your house. So make sure you go ahead and check this out. The requirements for approval for the Home Depot Pro Institutional is also pretty simple, and you have to make sure that you, of course, again, have the 8 keys of having a legitimate and credible business. Next, you'll also want to make sure you do have a paydex score generated. Again, the paydex score is your Dun & Bradstreet business score. Okay, you don't have to have great credit, but you need to have one at least established. Last but not least, you want to have multiple trade lines and bank references, also known as trade line vendors. You need to have vendors already reporting to your business credit report, which is kind of redundant because basically there's no other way that you can have a good credit score or establish a score without having multiple. So that's kind of like a wash. Now, the process for getting approved for this Home Depot Pro institutional account is very unique. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you from my personal experience. So the first thing you want to do is you want to either apply online or over the phone for the Net 30 account. After you apply, you will get an email with your account number, or if you're applying over the phone, they'll tell you to go ahead and write this number down, which is very important because you'll need this account number for the following steps moving forward. After you have established your Net 30 account, you want to also call the number that you see right here, and you want to place your first 2 orders. Now, here's something that's very important. They don't tell you this, but there is no minimum amount or minimum purchase price. So what this means is, and this is what I did, I called the number and I just placed 2 orders right there on the phone. I just told the lady that I was speaking to on the phone, hey, I want to go ahead and order 2 large packages of Bounty paper towels, and I requested specifically for her to make them 2 separate invoices, keeping in mind that they require you to make 2 invoice purchases before your Net 30 account is active. So just simply head on over to their website at supplyworks.com and then take a look at what you would like and go ahead and place that order and have them put them on 2 separate invoices. Now, the next step would be to wait until you've received those individual invoices in your email inbox and then call the number back to then pay those 2 invoices. Once these 2 invoices are paid, you are now eligible to apply for and basically request online access to now shop on their website. At the same token, you are now eligible to go ahead and fill out the online form for your Home Depot Pro institutional cards, your physical credit cards. So there's a link that I'm also going to place down below in the description. And this is going to be the link that you click to then fill out the request form for your cards. And you can request as many cards as you would like, but just know that you have to wait 30 full days from the date that you paid your invoices. So pay your invoices, wait 30 days, and then fill out the online card request form so that you can get your cards in the mail, and it does take about 10 days for you to get them. All right, so the 4th easy approval business credit vendor that reports to Experian is actually 2. There are 2 gas cards that I highly recommend because in my opinion, they're probably the 2 most popular convenience stores / gas stations, at least on the entire East Coast. And that's both 7-Eleven and WAWA. Yes, both 7-Eleven and WAWA do carry gas cards that report to actually both Dun & Bradstreet and Experian. So I wanted to make sure I included both of these cards in this list because there are WEX brand cards, which are very reliable, but they're just super popular. But also remember, again, keep in mind, you don't want to apply for more than 3 of these WEX brand cards. But if you're trying to decide which 3, I just gave you 3 really great ones that are highly available and great gas cards to have. Now, the requirements for these cards are the same for any other WEX brand gas card, and that's making sure that you do, of course, again, have the 8 keys to having a credible business, putting emphasis on having a 411 registry for your business number and having everything else that I mentioned in my video. Now, additionally, you do want to have a Dun & Bradstreet paydex score. You do want to have a business checking account or business account in general. And yes, they will ask for your social security number, but this is not to PG. This is also to verify your identity only. And as well, if your business is newer than 1 year, you may need to either PG or make a $500 deposit to get qualified and approved for WAWA or 7-Eleven gas cards. In order to apply for either of these Net 15 gas cards, you do want to either do that online or apply over the phone. Both number and link will be listed below in the description. And the fifth and final business credit vendor that I'm going to recommend today that reports to Experian is one of my personal favorites, and that's Tiger Direct. Now, Tiger Direct is one of my favorite vendors because not only do they report to Experian, but they also report to Equifax and Dun & Bradstreet. Yes, you heard that correct. They apparently report to all three of the major business credit bureaus. If you are not familiar with Tiger Direct, they're very similar to the 90s Circuit City stores and like today's Best Buy. Primarily online. I don't think they have a lot of Tiger Direct stores still, having a physical presence around the nation, but they are reputable. And they have pretty much everything you can think of that Best Buy will have, TVs, computers, laptops, all types of smaller electronics and other devices you can get for a great price on Tiger Direct's website. Now, I want you guys to take a wild guess what the requirements may be for this easy approval vendor. Now, based on all of these other vendors that I have mentioned, there's going to be one common thing, right? They're looking for your business to be well established and they want you to be credible. All right. So in order to have those 8 keys, you want to make sure you do this before you really get started in the business credit journey, in my opinion, to avoid any hurdles and any denials. Additionally, you want to make sure that you do have, of course, a business bank account. And also you want to have a good D&B Paydex score. Now this will be an 80 or above. Okay. Now I know we talked about Experian, but this particular vendor, Tiger Direct, will be looking for good standing with Dun & Bradstreet, which will be, again, a Paydex score or 80 or above is what they would prefer, which means you would have to have multiple trade references, aka trade lines, and vendors reporting to your business credit report. And last but not least, they will prefer that your business is at least 2 years old. You can apply for Tiger Direct, again, online or over the phone, whichever your preference. You'll be able to get that application submitted in no time. So yes, those are 5 easy approval vendors that do report to Experian that I recommend you guys sign up for. Now, of course, I don't work for either of these companies, so save your comments talking about how you dislike this product or that product. You guys have to keep in mind that this is an investment. You're not buying these products because of how awesome they are. The product that you're actually buying is the service of having these invoices reported to the business credit vendors so that you can then, of course, get access to business funding. Guys, keep this in mind. Now, of course, as always, if you guys found anything in this video remotely helpful to your small business, please do me the favor, show your boy some love by dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button to see more content from me, yours truly. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time of the day it is. Thanks for watching.